it's Betsy, and today we're going to be testing out a full face of ColourPop cosmetics. As you know, last week for Black Friday I placed a ColourPop order, got in my makeup, and I figured we would test it all out. Now I don't have a complete full face, but I have most products. So I'm going to start off by putting on the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Primer because I have dry skin and hyaluronic acid is one of my favorite things to use in my skincare routine. Now my skin is washed and moisturized, so adding a little bit more moisture never hurt anybody. Now excuse my brows, they are large and in charge. I need to go get them done, but typically whenever it gets close to that time, I kind of let them sit till they get really bad before I go get them done. Just how I like to do it. So I'm going to prime my eyes with the Milani eyeshadow primer. I will tell you, this stuff goes far. Like, it has lasted for so long. I've had this tube for at least a year. And I am not one of those people that sticks by makeup expirations, like probably as much as I should, but as long as it doesn't smell funny and it still does the same thing, I like to keep using it. So now I'm going to use my Jaclyn Hill JH32, and we're going to dip into the shade Wild Wings right here, and this is from the Flutterby palette, which is the ColourPop collection that I got pretty much everything to. Which is just a cool tone mauve-y kind of shade. And I'm just taking and blending that all into my crease. I'm not going to do a super dramatic look today. Keeping it kind of simple. Well, simple for me. Which may be too dramatic for others, but this is just what I like to do. So now I'm going to dip into the shade right here, which is called Angel BB, which is a darker mauve with the JH40. And we're going to keep that designated pretty much into my crease. I don't want to bring it too far up, but I just want to blend it in right into the depths of my eye socket, I guess is the best way to say it. And I don't know about you, but there are some days like when I'm tired and I don't feel good, my wrinkles look worse than normal. And especially the ones around my eyes. So kind of just packing that on. And then I'm going to take that same big fluffy brush that I used, the JH32, and use that to diffuse the edges. To make sure everything is nice and blended together. And to me, you really can't overblend eyeshadow. You more or less can underblend. You want your lines to be smooth. You want it to seem like, for the most part, unless you're doing something super dramatic, you want it to seem like the colors just kind of melt together. So just using that same windshield wiper motion. So that's what that looks like. So now I'm going to take my Huda Beauty brush, and this is the little pointed angle, and I'm going to go into the pressed glitter shade called Overpacked. And when you're working with pressed glitter, now remember, these are not considered eye safe. I've used glitter on my eyes for many years. You don't want to drag, you want to press, and if you're really scared of it, you can put some glitter glue down. But I haven't had an issue with too much fallout from the ColourPop pressed glitters. But just remember, they are technically not eye safe. But I can tell you one thing, The glitter shades are pretty much what draw my eye into almost any eyeshadow palette. But that's just my personal opinion. I like glitter. And ColourPop with their pressed glitter shades, like I would much rather work with a Stila Glitter and Glow eyeshadow versus just pressing on a pressed glitter like this. But they don't have all the colors, and plus one Stila Glitter and Glow, they're $24 each, and I think this palette was $15, so you can't beat that. Then I take my fluffy brush and just kind of go over the edges just to make sure everything is kind of diffused. I'm happy with how that's looking right now, so we're going to start off with the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer. I have the shade Light 8N, and I'm not using their version of the Beauty Blender today. I'm still using my Beauty Blender because I don't like mine to get all germy. So I wait till one is pretty much done for before I swap to a new one. Now this is pretty much sheer coverage, but I have a heavy duty concealer to place on as well. And my skin, other than this side of my face, I have a breakout and some scarring. So I can use concealer to give me extra coverage that I need versus just layering on a lot of makeup. Now my hair looks amazing today, can't you tell? I actually went and worked out earlier and washed it because I still haven't figured out how you're supposed to work out and not wash your hair. Hold on, gotta get some more product. Now it does have enough coverage to take away some of the redness, not all of it, and it covers that melasma that's on my top lip. Blend down my neck. It doesn't have the most coverage, but it does even out the skin tone and makes my skin look pretty, so there's a plus. So now we're going to dip into the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Concealer, and I have the shade Light 60N. So we're going to go ahead and place that under my eyes. I'm not a fan of this doe foot, I can tell you that. It feels draggy and like I'm not getting a whole lot of product. But I mean, so far my skin looks good. And ColourPop, I think the concealer's like $8 and the tinted moisturizer is 12 or 15. So it's nothing super expensive. It's right in line with drugstore pricing, and if you get them whenever everything's on sale, because ColourPop has sales quite often, like I purchased all this whenever they had their 30% off sale. So that doesn't look the worst, but I am definitely used to more coverage than this. Like I feel like a little bit too much of my skin is peeking through, but we can fix that. Let's go ahead and layer on just a tad bit more concealer because this mom is tired and we need to cover up those dark circles. Which the concealer almost looks darker than the tinted moisturizer, but that could be because it is got a little bit more coverage too. Okay. Okay, typically I'm not much for setting my whole face, but this does feel quite sticky, so I'm going to use my Tarte Confidence foundation in the shade Medium Neutral with just a big fluffy powder brush, and this will also add more coverage, which I feel like I need a little bit more coverage today. Which, as you can see, that is a product that I've actually hit pan on. I'm gonna take my Beauty Blender powder puff and dip into this and just press that under my eyes. One, to give more coverage. Two, because this concealer is creasing like nobody's business. Okie dokie. So that is the base on, so it doesn't look the worst. Now I think I would like that much more in the summer whenever I'm definitely not wanting as much coverage on my skin, but it doesn't look bad. So I'm gonna go into my Anastasia powder bronzer in Rich Amber, which looks like this. Real Techniques, this is the, what is this, 003. It's like a powder foundation brush, but I love to use this for a bronzer brush. Definitely warm up my skin some. But yeah, if y'all have any tips or tricks too, that is a lot of bronzer. Tips or tricks to working out without washing your hair as often, let me know, because I haven't found a good curly girl dry shampoo that I like. And I'm still figuring out products and stuff like that that I like and what works for my hair, because I have not the curliest of curly hair. It's more wavy and it's so baby fine. Like the days that I wash, it kind of just looks like a tangled mess instead of cute and curly. But on the next day, it looks better. It's just, how do I get to the next day? I'm gonna use the ColourPop Designer Collection Kissin' a Frog Pressed Powder Blush, which looks like this, which is more of a cool tone pink, which is, because the eyes are so cool toned, I definitely wanted to keep it in the cooler family. Not bad. Let's go ahead and do some brows, because my brows look atrocious. Which this is just the what is this called? Universal Brow Power in Universal Taupe. This is one of my favorite brow products. I have actually went through 4 or 5 of these, which is saying a lot considering how many brow products that I have. But I think with next year, because we want to buy another house, so I'm fixing to change my spending habits. Plus, I mean, I have so much makeup, I can never go through probably one eyeshadow palette in a year would be difficult with the kind of makeup that I have. I mean, I have over 100 eyeshadow palettes, way too many lippies. The only hope that I have of actually going through like all the products that I have is like foundation, concealer, and setting spray and bronzer, because I like bronzer, but it is definitely not my favorite thing in the world. So now let's go ahead and highlight, and I'm going to use the Cinderella from the same collection, the Midnight Masquerade. This is called Horse and Carriage, which it is more of a white with a little bit of gold undertone to it. That is an intense highlight, but it's okay. So let's go ahead and finish up our eyes. I'm gonna take my JH, which one is this? 39, it's just a tiny little pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Angel BB. And line right up under my lash line. I don't know about y'all, but as soon as I put on like a deeper color, and now I'm gonna go into the shade Float On, which is definitely has some glitter in it, and just press that in right into the waterline. See how much more definition that gives? Take that same pencil brush that I used and lightly blend out the edges. We don't want any harsh lines. But it doesn't look bad, it's just, like, I like the eyeshadow, love the blush. I am not loving this foundation combination. I might like the foundation better if I were just doing like a no makeup and just throwing on some mascara, but as a actual wanting to do a full face, it is not that type of foundation. But it doesn't say it's a foundation, it says it's a tinted moisturizer with a sheer coverage. I don't know. My brows are in full force today. I'm going to take that same pencil brush, I'm just rubbing the excess deep color off my hand, and I'm going to dip it into the shade Sunflare right here, which is just a beautiful pinky purpley duochrome, and press that right in to highlight my inner corner. Now, highlighting your inner corner is one of the best things you can do to definitely make yourself look more awake. I'm just taking and dragging just the slightest bit of that right under my brow. So, not a bad makeup look. Let's go ahead and curl our lashes. And I'm going to use the Lancome Monsieur Big Lash. This is just a sample size. One of the ones I got from either Ulta or Sephora. And apply some mascara. And mascaras, I'm not sure where my memory card ran out of room. As I said, I'm applying the Monsieur Big Lash on both my upper and lower. But I mean, I love the Dior Show mascara, but it's so expensive, and I get so many samples of mascara, I need to actually use them instead of wasting them. I mean, I give them away, but I don't know. Now we're going to apply some lips. So I'm going to apply the Velvet Blur from the Flutter collection in Slow Dance, which looks something like this. And there we go. That is my finished look. What do you think? I feel like my face, because I added the powder foundation on top, it looks a little cakey. But I do truly, this eyeshadow palette is gorgeous. The colors in it are so flattering. Love this. The lipstick, I love this Velvet Blur finish. It's not completely matte, but it is more matte than a traditional stick lipstick, but it goes on very, very prettily. So love that. Love most of the stuff so far in the Pretty Fresh. I need to test that skin tinted moisturizer more. Okay, that definitely helps. Just using the Pretty Fresh, I almost forgot to use this hyaluronic setting mist. And that helps take away some of the cakiness of it. So, that's the finished look. What do you think? Let me know what you think down below. But I guess that's it for today. I'll see y'all on Wednesday for another keto update. Don't forget to check out all my social media, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as my main channel, which is just Cuttin Corners Vinyl. If you've been with me a while, you'll know about that because that's probably how you found the second one. But I guess that's it, so we'll see y'all on Wednesday. Bye.